I'm fairly new to these backyard pyromusicals, and I posted a video of this year's show, Let the Sparks Fly, on YouTube, and a couple fire tech forums. And a couple of people asked for information on the setup. Well, way too much time is spent right here on these computers. So first thing is going through the music. I used Amazon Music this year to collect a playlist of all the music that I liked. Then I'd create sub-playlists pinning down the exact songs that I wanted to use. I'd listen to those over and over again and getting ideas of what I wanted to do with each music. I created this chart here where I could identify a theme and a primary effect for each type of music. I then used Audacity to put all the songs together. I also then added some sound effects and some spacing between the songs. Once I had all the songs selected for the soundtrack, then I compiled all the songs into one file. Once I had everything in one file, I tried to normalize the audio as much as possible, as well as doing some compression in order to minimize clipping throughout the soundtrack. Then I did some sound tests with the actual PA system, making sure that I could get the settings on the PA system correct prior to the show. Once I had the audio down, I made some visual representations of the sound wave and listened to the audio while sketching down what product I thought should be shot during different portions of the song. With the audio set, now it's time to figure out the field setup. This is the shoot area that I have, audience down in the lower left. I put together this chart here, giving me an idea of how the layout will be, with the 200 gram, 500 gram mortars, NOABs, singles, and other effects. I don't use a visual choreography software like Finale Fireworks or FW Sim or Show Creator or Show Sim, but I hope to use those in the future, probably FW Sim or Show Sim. But what I use is Pyro Ignition Control. It shows me the waveform and then has a linear editor for the various product. It's a bit challenging as you have to visualize what the product is actually going to be doing, but it also makes it kind of interesting when you actually get to the show to see how things turned out. I find it somewhat rewarding when it all comes together as pictured in my mind. Well, at least fairly close. With the script all set, now it's time to try everything out with the firing system. I use the FireTech system. Here's a picture of the 7 modules that I have. This year I put labels on each one of the modules indicating the distance that it's set at out in the field and what rails are connected. The FireTech system allows you to easily split rails, so these labels, although a bit overkill, actually were useful in setting cables out in the field and dropping the rails. I wanted to use a lot of slices this year, so I built this cart here. I call it a cart because it allowed me to set up all the slices in the shop and then roll it out into the field. I put wheels on it. Now you may notice that a lot of my slices are trimmed narrow, and then I just don't have the chute side available to do the real wide spread. Because of the trees on either side, I have to trim down all the slices. Unfortunate, but necessity. Once this cart was out in the field, it was real easy to just drop the rails and plug in all of the wires. Here's some other pictures of the setups. Fountains, flames, strobes, 200 gram cakes, all set up on cake boards ahead of time. Pre-matched the day before. All of the NOABs, each individual tube, were matched separately. As I got everything fused and matched, I laid it out on the floor in an order representative of the field. I then pulled out the trailer and started loading the trailer with all of the mortars and a lot of the singles and some of the larger cakes. I was able to then put the trailer in the shop and do all of the wiring the night before. In the morning, I was able to just drive the trailer out into the field along with some of the fountain stands and some of the gas mines. I had a couple people come by and help me, and we finished setting everything up and wiring it all out in the field. With some of the stuff that was wired on the trailer, it was quite easy to just plug the cables in to the Firetech system. Not all of the 500-gram cakes fit on the trailer as thought, so we did set some of them on the ground. But all of the NOABs and most of the cakes and mortars ended up on the trailer, which was helpful. We staked everything down. Also enjoyed a few Subway sandwiches. Here's a picture of kind of everything in the 500-gram category set up. I had a lot of 30mm singles. This was one of the racks that I built specifically for them, along with one of the Firetech rails. Here's a helix rack that I created. The intent was to create a helix spiral of blue meteors. You can see it at the end of this segment, which is one of my favorite segments. However, you'll be able to see that it actually started straightening up. And after the show, all of the tubes were actually straight and parallel up and down rather than angled at the helix. Here it is here. You can see it start to helix around and then everything goes straight up and down. I'll try it again next year. So that's my setup for this last year. I hope somebody found that interesting. I've certainly enjoyed watching YouTube videos of other people's setups over the years. Some of my favorites are from Bozy8823, his 2017 being one of my favorites. Tim Heimer, Rich Hagmeyer and his killer Pyromusicals, Kepi Skullman, stuff out of Pyromania like Big T Pyro's videos, TX Pyro. I certainly look forward to watching those videos every year. In the past 2 years, I've joined a club, been to Western Winter Blast twice, and I'm heading to PGI for my second time. I just love this, and I'm quite thankful my family is putting up with it.